Welcome to 30 Minutes of Madness. It's your girl Millie Maddness here on QVC TV 22, and today we're going to be talking about music, arts, and entertainment with two of my special guests, Heidi Dugan and Maura, Jarve. And we're going to be talking about so many things today. You guys are going to be so amazed. Well, without further ado, welcome to the Madhouse, ladies. Thank you. So tell everybody a little bit about yourself and tell them what you do.
Well, I'm Heidi Dugan, and I'm the artistic director of For the Win Productions. In my real life, I'm a teacher, but that's what I'm doing for the Win.
Awesome.
I'm Maura, Jarve. I'm executive producer for the Win Productions. And in my real life, I'm a graphic designer. I own my own business.
Oh, nice. That is so awesome, ladies. So I've heard so many great things about your production. I mean, nonstop. So please tell us a little bit about what exactly is the production that you guys are doing. How did it all start? Tell us all about it. We want to know everything.
Sure. We're currently working on a production of Twelfth Night by William Shakespeare. And Shakespeare doesn't get done around the area very often.
Yes.
And so we really wanted to be able to do that and make sure that everyone knows how approachable Shakespeare is and how timely, and it's not like some old stuffy thing that you can't really enjoy. And
you know, Shakespeare's storylines are kind of the basis for most of the movies and books that we know. Like he kind of did it all first, right?
Yes.
So, like Heidi's saying, our idea is to make it more approachable. For instance, Twelfth Night is really like a romantic comedy.
Yes.
You know?
Oh my God, that's so true. I feel like in this area you don't really hear too much about or see much in theater when it comes to Shakespeare. It's almost like, oh.
I think
and there's really no reason for that. And I think that a lot of people's experience with Shakespeare is I was forced to read Romeo and Juliet in 10th grade. And my English teacher made us all take parts, and it was this giant ordeal. And most people haven't seen it performed. Right. And it was meant to be performed.
It's
like
totally different.
It wasn't written as a novel to be just read alone in a room. It was written as a script to be performed. And Shakespeare was originally performed in front of massive crowds of people, and they were eating fruit and throwing things and being rowdy, and it was more like a sporting event nowadays. It wasn't like theater, and we're going to sit here and be stuffy. And so we're trying to make it be not quite so rowdy and interactive, but at least really accessible so that everybody is having a good time and not sitting on their hands and being worried about whether they're, you're allowed to laugh. You're supposed to laugh.
Right.
It's very funny stuff.
It is a funny show.
That sounds like so much fun, and I'm sure it's going to be amazing. Tell me a little bit about how it all kind of came about with you guys. For the Win Productions is something that is a thing now, and it's getting some buzz in our community. So for those who have not yet had the experience of seeing For the Win Productions or knowing about it, just tell us a little bit about how it all became about.
Shall I start?
Sure.
So we were doing the Crucible. I guess we started working together at Cumberland Players, which is in Vineland. It's a little theater that we love.
Yeah, shout out to Cumberland Players.
Yes. And when the show closed, we had such a good time working on it. We were sad. Yes. And so Heidi said, well, you know, we could do a show. And I said, okay. And that's just how it began.
Yeah, we were texting back and forth, and she's like, I'm so sad I'm not getting off my couch all day. And I was like, well, why don't we just do something? Like, we could do a show, and then we could do a show turned into, we should start a theater company.
Right.
Because,
well, we had to find a place to do the show, and we had to figure out how we were going to pay to do the show and who was going to be in the show. And if you have to do all of that work, well, then you kind of have the structure built, and then you can do another one, and then another one. So that's kind of, well, now we're on our second one.
Yeah. With plans for a couple more in 2020. So,
that's so awesome.
It's been fun.
So part of what we want to do is be like doing the kind of shows that other theaters don't do, because if you're a theater and you own your building and you have a mortgage or you have bills, then that kind of locks you into having to do shows that you know are going to get 200 people every night or 150 people every night. And that means you can't do things that might be riskier for getting audiences to come in.
Or a tiny cast, or something that people maybe haven't heard of, or, you know.
It's just easier because we have at this point, have lower overhead, and, you know, it's a downside because we do have to rent a facility. We're renting the theater at Apple Farm in
Which is
Elmer.
awesome.
Okay, you know, I haven't been there yet, but
Yeah.
I heard it was awesome.
Yeah.
So they're not producing our show, we're just renting their space, and they've been a wonderful host. And we did our first show there back in April. We did a series of comedies called All in the Timing. And we're renting there again for our upcoming shows, and our relationship's been really wonderful, so we hope that lasts for a long time.
Oh, wow.
And one of the ways that we try to differentiate our company and our projects from other area theaters is that we also have a lounge, a pre-show lounge, which we have recently named the Elephant, which is a reference to the
Elephant
show
in the room.
Yes.
Yeah.
But anyway, and that lounge has food and drinks, and the doors open about an hour and a half before the show. And the food and the drink, it's all just included in the price of admission. So it's really kind of a party atmosphere and a chance to get to, the cast is there so you can meet them and talk to them just as normal people. They're not their characters. This isn't dinner theater. And have some food, have some drink, and take some selfies.
Yes.
And then,
it's
you
all
know.
about the selfie.
Yes, exactly. And then go enjoy the show.
Yeah. And sometimes we have live entertainment, maybe a piano player or a guitar player, and so it's like this party, and then a show breaks out. So we all hang out in the lounge, and then everyone makes their way downstairs to the theater, and then we have the show. And during intermission, you can have another glass of wine and some dessert, and then we come back in and we do Act 2. So,
Oh, wow.
so that's really different from what else is out there.
What a great combination and what a great atmosphere it sounds like. And
We really wanted to make a whole experience for people to go out for the night and enjoy. Because where Apple Farm is in a pretty relatively rural area. And there are a couple restaurants around, but we really wanted to make it a destination. Have dinner, have some drinks, have a show. There's your whole night.
which is great, which is much needed.
With Netflix and being able to stream everything,
Yeah.
it's harder to get people off their couches.
Exactly.
And
Yes.
so we wanted to make it really easy to just, hire the babysitter, come on out. It's all one package, one spot. You park once, you enjoy your night, and it's all one price. And I mean, our ticket prices are low enough that you're getting all of this for about what you get to go to a movie. And it's live theater, and it's, really a deal.
God, how exciting. What a great concept. And I love that because a lot of people have, issues about going to different locations, especially if they're a single parent or, financial or whatever it is. So the fact that it's like a kind of like a one-stop shop thing is just so cool. It's very convenient. People nowadays love convenience. The more convenient, the better. They get everything in one shot.
Right.
It sounds so amazing. So what was your first show? How was that experience like when you were like, okay, putting on the show, like, oh my God, this is our first show, it's gonna go good, it's good. And then afterwards, like, what was that ride like?
Well, it was not without stress, I'll say that. It took a lot of planning. And we stressed about every little tiny detail because we hadn't done it before, and we had to handle every aspect of it. But then once it was over, we were like, oh, okay, good. And this time it's so much easier.
So much easier the second time.
So much.
And it was such a relief. Like, our first show, we didn't hold auditions. We talked to people that we knew we wanted to work with, other actors in the community, because we've performed with Summerlin players and opera players and other theaters that are in the area. So we have friends and people that we know that are in the community.
Lots of talent.
Yes, so we reached out to people specifically and said, hey, we're doing this thing. Do you maybe want to do this thing with us? Because we didn't know if anyone would go for it. And they did. They were super excited and enthusiastic. And so we literally rehearsed in my basement and, we put this great show together and the reviews were fantastic. On social media and on our website and everything. Everyone was really, really generous and appreciated the quality of the show.
Right.
And so that was super encouraging. And, closing night, I just sort of burst into tears and was like, oh my gosh, we did this thing. Can you believe we did this thing? like within a week or two after we breathed for a few days, we're like, what's next? What are we gonna do next? Let's do another one.
Yeah.
And we wanted to do auditions this time so that we could bring in more people that weren't necessarily people that we already knew and already worked with. And we wanted to give Maura a chance to perform because she was running the event and running the business for the first show. And
I like to act, so.
Yeah.
Nice. Oh, that is so awesome. And but mainly you run the business side of things, and then you do.
I'm the artistic director, so I'm the one who's reading scripts and looking for projects. I'm also trying to look for other people who want to do projects.
Okay.
So if you have an idea and you're like, oh my gosh, I read this play in college and I love this play and I want to direct it, like, approach us, talk to us about it. If we can find a way to cover the bills and to do it, then we would love to be approached and talked to about that kind of thing.
Which is a great thing that you guys are doing. And part of the reason, even for this show existed is because there is so much talent in this area that goes unseen, unnoticed, and they're local. And it's so inspiring and it's so awesome. Like, I lived in New York for many years, and then I moved back down, and it's like, oh man, what am I gonna do? But the more you get yourself involved in community things and community events, the more that you start to see, like, man, there's like big talent that they're not noticed, but man, they're talented.
Yeah.
And I feel like especially like the youth, the upcoming generation is really doing their thing.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it's just like the exposure with social media is easily to get noticed, but
maybe.
But they are getting noticed, whatever it is.
I think theater is a great thing for young people to be involved in because I think it teaches them to be brave in an environment where there really isn't a lot of risk, but it feels like there is. If you go out on stage and you don't know your lines, what is the worst thing that happens, right? You're embarrassed, but nobody dies,
And the thing is that it's more because the audience really doesn't know that you messed up.
That's true.
Really your own, thing that you're like, oh my God, embarrassed because I messed up, but technically nobody knows.
No. Right.
And I feel like these kids go in, and when they come out, they're just so much more confident. And these days, confidence is a big thing to build your child's confidence.
It is.
And this is such a great way to do so.
Yeah.
You guys are amazing, amazing, amazing. So we're going to take a quick break, and I want to hear more about what you guys are doing in our community, and we're going to talk more about this For the Win Productions and what's going on in our community when we come back on 30 Minutes of Madness. See you soon.
Do you have all your ducks in a row? Ensuring those possessions which are important to you will give you peace of mind.
Hi, I'm George Castellini, president of Beyond the Insurance Agency. We've been serving our community since 1973. I invite you to come down, meet our friendly staff for all your insurance needs.
The staff at Beyond the Insurance is knowledgeable and friendly. All it takes is a telephone call. We'll help you get your ducks in a row. Call George Castellini or one of the professionals at Beyond the Insurance Agency. At the end of the day, you'll be glad you did.
More than a century ago, General Tire was born, right here in America. Since then, we've made a name for ourselves by making tires you can depend on. Tires built to handle any road this country can throw at them, and relied on by every kind of driver. So you know that no matter where life takes you, with General Tire, anywhere is possible.
Are you tired of people talking about the past? We are too. We are taking TV to the next level. On QBC TV 22, we have an amazing selection of original content, starting from local celebrity interviews to straight-up madness. This isn't just our TV station, it is your local TV station. Turn to QBC TV 22 right now to see what we are watching together.
At Mintz Insurance, we're proud to have been serving our customers for nearly 80 years, offering 30 different insurance products for your auto, home, and business. And to help ensure that you're getting the best rates possible, we give you up to 3 quotes for every policy, so you can choose what's right for you. At Mintz, we're part of the community, local representatives, supporting events, and proud of it. It's part of who we are. Mintz Insurance. Call today and find out how we can help you save on insurance, or visit us at mintzinsurance.com.
Hi, this is Ben Laurie from Ben's ProServe. Are you looking to save money on your utility bills? As one of South Jersey's sources for the New Jersey Clean Energy Program, we can install insulation and an efficient heating and air conditioning system for you with up to $4,000 in rebates and up to $10,000 in 0% financing to help you save even more. Call us today at 856-500-3222 or visit besttocallben.com.
ServPro of Cape May and Cumberland counties make damage to your business like it never even happened. Water in your business brings damage, mold, and stress. ServPro of Cape May and Cumberland counties take the headache out of dealing with water. ServPro's team will come into your business and remove any trace of water. Strike back quickly before a little headache becomes a big problem. When damage strikes, strike back with ServPro of Cape May and Cumberland counties.
Welcome back to 30 Minutes of Madness here, and I'm still here with my 2 special guests, which are doing amazing things in our community. I'm all about empowering women and doing big things in our community, and congratulations to you guys and all that you're doing and bringing new, fresh things for us to do in our community and spotting out local talents and all the great things. I'm so honored that you guys are on the show.
Well, thank you for having us.
Thank you. Thank you so much for coming on. So if someone is interested in being a part of theater, you know, sometimes a lot of things are a lot of different barriers people have, self-doubt, I can't do it, whatever it is, you know, what kind of advice would you give someone that's interested in being part of theater, or even an entrepreneur? Like, you know, you guys are doing it. What would you give them as an advice?
Well, as for theater goes, there are community theaters all over the area, and they perform at large venues like the Levoy and smaller venues like Cumberland Players and For the Whim. And if you go to see a show and you think, oh my God, I could never do that, you probably could. Like, there are auditions that are posted all the time. All of these community theaters are nonprofit organizations who need volunteers. So even if you're not interested in being on stage, usher, you know, help seat people and pass out programs, and sometimes you get to see a show for free. Volunteer to serve behind the scenes, where maybe you're painting sets, or you're backstage and you're handing props to actors when they come on and off. There are so many different kinds of ways to get involved, and every single community theater in the area, For the Whim is no exception, wants and needs that help. Because it takes as many people as there are on stage, there are at least that many people behind the scenes that are putting that show together in order to have it be ready for the audiences.
And the other thing too is that when you go to see a show, you're looking at their final product. You know, you weren't there for the 15 weeks or whatever it was, 8 weeks, it depends on the show, that it took to put that thing together. So it may seem intimidating when you're sitting in the audience and watching these talented people do all that they've been doing, but they started not knowing how to do it either. You know?
Exactly. Well, you have a daughter in theater.
I do.
And
I have 2 daughters in theater.
And how old are they?
11 and 8. And Lily, the little one,
yes, Lily, I had the
was
pleasure
just
meeting.
in Legally Blonde at Cumberland Players with your daughter.
Yes.
They had such a good time.
Yes, they had such a great time. And I think it's so great to get them involved. at this age, at a young age. I think it builds, their character and confidence.
Yeah.
And then they have the leads and the senior kind of members that have been doing it for a while, that are leading by example,
Right.
and they have such a great part as far as setting the tone and example for the younger kids, like our kids.
Right.
It helps so many ways. Both of my children are involved in theater also. My daughter is currently running stage crew for the show that we're working on now.
She's awesome.
She's been on stage and she's been an actor, and she's kind of like, no, I think I'd rather be more like helping out and doing that kind of thing. My son is a theater major in college. He just started as a freshman, and he had the lead in his senior show in Millville. So like, it's just something that, and it doesn't have to be a whole family project, but it turns out to be that way quite often.
Doesn't it?
As soon as a parent gets involved and another person's involved, or the other way around, a child does their school show, and now they're like, I'm hooked. I want to and they want to get involved in so many different ways. And, so our advice is, you don't have to be a kid and say, oh, well, I didn't try this when I was 10, so now I'm done. I'm washed up. No, come in. New people all the time. My first time on stage was because my daughter wanted to audition for The Wizard of Oz as a munchkin. And so I auditioned too, and I got the role of Auntie M, and I was in the show. And so then I was an actress. I was a stage manager for many, many years before I ever started acting. And then I was like, maybe I'll try this directing thing. And now I've directed several shows in the last few years, and you never know where it could go. You have to try it.
It's incredible. Because theater fever is a thing.
Oh yeah.
Like it's a thing. I didn't realize it was a thing, but I kind of got caught up in it, and I'm like, whoa, it does become a family thing. Yeah. It just does. I mean, you see your kid, you're encouraging your kid, and then before you know it, you're into it, and before you know it, you're behind the scenes helping, and then you're involved with other kids, and then you start to get attached to them, and it just becomes a thing. It's just a cycle.
I think that's the community part of community theater, right? It's that togetherness and that family that starts to develop. You're all working on the same project together, so you have something in common, and now you have a relationship, that goes on and on, even past the show.
Even if they aren't your blood family, they become your family.
Yeah.
And you've spent so much time together, so intensely, and it's an emotional experience that it bonds you.
Yes.
It really does.
Absolutely. Well, one thing I definitely want is for people to find you and they see all the great things that you have going on. So if someone wants to know more about you and what you guys are doing and your shows and all that, where can they find you?
We're at ftwproductions.com.
Okay.
But we're also all over social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, at For the Whim.
For the Whim.
For the Whim, yeah.
And if you have creative ideas, if you want to bring creative ideas, maybe you have a project you want to start, or you want to get involved in being in a show, Heidi at ftwproductions.com.
Okay.
And if you want to
advertise in our program,
donate money.
Hey, shameless plug.
That would be
Maura at FTW Productions.
Oh, awesome. I look forward to all the great and wonderful things that you guys have coming your way.
Thank you.
And I look forward to seeing you guys soon. Thank you so much for coming on the show. It was so much fun.
It was a pleasure. Thank you.
And oh my God, I can't say enough about what you guys are doing, and I appreciate everything that you guys are bringing to our community. And don't forget to follow, and find them on their website, social media, and all those great things. So thank you so much for joining in. Subscribe to the YouTube channel, 30 Minutes of Madness on YouTube, and you'll find all this great information and what people are doing in our community in the music, arts, and entertainment industry. So once again, this is Millie Maddness here, your girl on QBC TV 22, signing out. Peace.